Are we golden, apparently?
I think we might be.
We might be golden.
Is it time?
Is it time
to jump right in?
Into the bullshit? Or is it bullshit?
It's less bullshit than it was when it was this.
That is true. That is very true. What's up? We are here with the very, very first episode of Street Level Weekly. It's a workshop title. Hopefully it'll change if we come up with something better, but we're both stupid, so...
Yeah, we might not come up with something
You never know. Maybe there won't even be an episode 2. There's probably going to be an episode 2.
I was going to say, it'll take a couple hours to get started on episode 2, just like
this one. Yeah, we've been here for 2 hours and we've filmed less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, we sat for an hour and 30 minutes on the couch behind the camera, off camera, reviewing Justice
the same
League.
movie because we are dumb. But my name is Ethan.
I am Alan.
And we are talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, the fabled Snyder Cut of the 2017 hot trash garbage Justice League movie.
So I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting it to just be slightly better than the 2017 Justice League movie. I was expecting it to still be trash. And I actually enjoyed Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I did as well, but I had no expectations going in because I do not like Zack Snyder in his take on DC heroes, Watchmen included. So I didn't expect anything going in, and I thoroughly enjoyed a lot of this movie.
Are you implying that Zack Snyder does not understand
Zack Snyder does not understand this character or this character, and he doesn't know who Barry Allen is in the video. You can already spam me with dislikes.
Okay, so let's get started with the things we did not like about the theatrical cut of Justice League.
Thing right here. Did you watch it in theaters?
I sure did.
I did as well, and I kind of regret it. Actually, not kind of. I do regret watching it in theaters.
I took my nephew to see it.
I actually watched it solo in theaters because I'm a sad, lonely little fucking nerd. But I hated it then, and I've watched it several times since, and it has not gotten any better whatsoever.
I only watched it the one time.
I watched it a couple days before the Snyder Cut came out just because I wanted a refresher to see, like, okay, what was the movie like before I strap in for 4 hours and 2 minutes of a Zack Snyder version, and it was still bad.
All I remembered going into the Snyder Cut of the original cut of Justice League was they bring Superman back to life, and then there's a really cringy fight scene.
Which unfortunately might be the best fight scene in the original cut, which is sad. But I think, just to kick it off, because we're talking about the bad things, the very first shot is the worst fucking CGI face ever. Like, Henry Cavill doesn't even look like a human being.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Mexico scene.
Awful.
Oh wait, no, that's in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, it is. It's the little phone camera fitted with the little kids.
Yeah, I remember his face. I just don't remember what's going on.
Which all of the Henry Cavill face scene is just brutal.
But hey, at least the original cut of Justice League was just a grade A class act comedy with such hits as The Flash motorboating.
Motorboating Diana.
Or
Brunch. What even is Brunch?
What is it?
I like it's just lunch. Just stand in line. It's lunch. Worst scene ever with Batman. I don't understand.
I mean,
well, not the worst, obviously, but
surely.
Cut to shooting people in BVS.
Surely you loved the development of Cyborg in the theatrical cut.
Yes. That is probably the thing I dislike the most. Cyborg in the theatrical cut.
He's just an object in the theatrical
sits there.
cut.
He doesn't do anything. He's not a character. He's a plot device.
Yeah, he's just a person that is also not standard level human that they pick up on the way.
Hey, here he is. Here's Cyborg. Let's just do nothing with him, and he's gonna split up some other boxes with Clark at the end, and then make a joke about how his toes hurt, but he doesn't have toes.
That's not just a suit. Barry Allen in 2017's Joss Whedon's shit show Justice League is a train wreck of a person.
He's a moron. Of epic proportions, a moron.
Why did he motorboat Diana?
Why does he do anything he does? Like, we already talked about the stupid joke with falling into some boobs in the brunch, which is typical Joss Whedon. Like, that's what we come to expect, is that kind of, slapstick humor. But for Barry, was just completely out of character in that. And, just overall, just does a lot of really stupid things. Like, why is he so timid? Like, he doesn't fight, he just trips over himself the whole time. Like, what is he? But, you know what, that did lead to a scene that I do like in that movie, is whenever they get to the silo the first time they fight Steppenwolf, and he has that scene with Bruce where it's to save one person, and then you'll know. I like that scene. That's a good scene.
Yeah, that got cut from the Snyder Cut.
That is not in the Snyder Cut, but I think it should have been
unfortunate.
in the Snyder Cut.
But you know what is an improvement on that scene in the Snyder Cut?
They fight together.
Well, they also don't just
and they don't let
crack
people
a bunch
die.
of jokes while people are dying.
The superheroes save people. What? Holy shit, Cyborg saves his dad. Wow. Yeah, that scene is just...
Wow, totally epic.
That scene is just, like most of the 2017 movie, is really bad. But you know what? We've shit on it a lot, and this is not about the 2017 Justice League. We'll do the 2017 Justice League eventually, though.
Yeah, well, I do think we should mention a couple.
But we're gonna say some good things about it too. But we're gonna get through that a little bit quicker. We already did. I did just say the Batman Flash scene I liked.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another Batman conversation scene that I think is my favorite moment in the Justice League theatrical cut. When Batman talks to Alfred, and he's talking about bringing Superman back, and he's like, he's more human than I am. Which I think is the only moment in the entire Zack Snyder trilogy in the DCEU where he has a line where I think he understands Batman.
Yeah.
It's the only one.
Another part with Batman that I enjoyed in the original theatrical release was when he's interrogating that guy.
Fear.
To draw out the parademon. I thought that was a very Batman investigative thing to do.
That is the only ounce of detective work we see him do in any of the Zack Snyder movies, other than check a couple emails.
Yeah. And I mean, really, unfortunately, in most Batman movies, you don't see a whole lot of
There's not a whole lot of detective work.
There's a whole lot of punching.
Other than computer stuff. But we're not talking about other Batman movies, we're talking about Zack Snyder's. And the only other thing that I think I enjoyed from the original cut is whenever these two goofballs race at the end of the movie.
I
thoroughly like that stuff, and I really wish we could have actually seen that.
Oh, and the color grading.
Cut. Oh, yes, and there's color. Holy shit, there's color.
Like,
Superman is dressed like Superman.
And
no offense to the black suit, it's dope, but I prefer the other
And
one.
you can see Wonder Woman's colors. And
yes, I know, it still wasn't a pretty movie, in my opinion, but there's actually colors in it. And I like my superhero movies to have some color.
Yeah.
Other than just being, Justice is not gray. I like my 6 in this case.
I haven't seen the
Justice
black
League.
and white one.
It's the same exact movie. So it's just, it's the same exact movie, except for there's like one less color in it. That's about it, because there's only really like 2.5 colors in this regular Snyder Cut. So.
Fair enough.
But now, actually, let's get to. We've spent about 12 minutes rambling or whatnot about the 2017 Justice League, but you're not here for that. If you're here still, you're here to listen about the Snyder Cut, the 4-hour-long Zack Snyder DC fan wet dream epic that we got. And was it quite that? No, I don't think it was.
No, I think
But it was a vast improvement.
I think it could have been shaved down to 3 hours.
Oh, absolutely. The length is by far the worst
Cut
part
down
about
all
this.
of the slow motion that isn't the Flash running towards the mother box or the Flash running towards the mother box part 2.
We should have said this earlier, but obviously we're spoiling this movie. We just did it, so if you didn't know, there's some more spoilers coming. We're spoiling the whole thing.
Well, as everyone and their fucking mother has talked about, there's 21 minutes of slow motion in the Snyder Cut.
That doesn't need to be there. Like, why is Aquaman walking on a pier, jumping into the water in slow motion?
Yeah,
like,
the only stuff that's in slow motion that needs to be in slow motion is when the Flash is running through the Kryptonian ship to touch the mother box and give it his special tingle. And
his Peter tingle.
Yeah, his Peter tingle.
Ooh.
Anyways, and then also at the end when he is running very fast.
Very, very fast. Past the speed of light. I think that is probably one of the coolest superhero scenes in any superhero movie ever.
And it's not just out of nowhere because it's set up in the mother box scene. Because time starts to reverse. And
wait a minute, you mean Zack Snyder has set up and payoff in a movie? That scene's fantastic. I love that scene. They had it in the Snyder Cut trailer, but I didn't think it was going to be that. Because they just had it look like Flash in the Speed Force. I thought it was going to be like another flashback sequence or like a dream sequence or something. But the fact that the final part of the movie is the Flash having to turn back time to see... Because the Justice League loses. Like, Steppenwolf wins. They unite the mother boxes and pop. They take
and everyone that isn't the Flash dies.
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that you see him kind of phase through. Because my first viewing of the movie, I was like, well, what... Okay, he survives, but then you can kind of see him start to phase right there at the end.
Yeah.
Big props to the CG team on that, because that sequence, the CGI on that, is like pitch perfect. I love that. But that whole sequence being the crux of the movie, and how somehow throughout this entire superhero boom we don't actually have a Flash movie, which is a tragedy. And the Flash movie we have has 3 Batman in it that's coming out. So it has 3 different Batmen. So, like, I love the fact that we get some props for one of DC's best characters. Like, overall, in length, he's probably DC's best written character in terms of consistency. So I'm happy that in this big 4-hour, everybody wanted this Justice League movie, that it comes down to the Flash doing some shit. And Superman beating the fuck out of Steppenwolf also.
I mean,
the Flash, it deserves that. We need to put some respect on the
greatest
Flash.
Improvement of Justice League 2021 versus 2017
is the Flash.
Is the Flash and Cyborg go from the worst characters of Justice League to the best characters of Justice League.
Other than, okay, so everybody likes to talk about the scene with Iris. Like, that's whenever you point out the Snyder Cut and the Flash, that's the first thing that pops up in everybody's mind. A little creepy. I hate that sequence. If I was going to recut it and, take it down to a shorter version, I'd cut that whole thing out entirely. Because it's fucking weird. First off, it's out of character for Barry, because Barry Allen, in this sequence, when there's a truck flipping in the middle of Central City, is not going to stop here to caress Iris West's face.
Yeah.
He's going to save Iris first. Don't get it wrong. Iris comes first for Barry. Obviously. Lois for Superman. Iris for Barry. He's saving her first. But he's not going to have this really weird stare into her eyes, brush her hair back, let the truck flip over the street still and just save her. He'll save her, but he's going to other people on the street. Like, that's not in character for Barry Allen. And yeah, they played it for a joke in the end with the dogs and the hot dog, which was genuinely funny.
I liked that.
It's genuinely funny, but I'm cutting that out. I do not like that scene for the Flash. Everything else he does in the movie is actually thoroughly pretty good.
I think you could have just changed the scene so that he didn't act like a creep.
Well, yeah, because he's just really, 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 awful in that scene, which, again, I was excited for that scene because visually, when he breaks through the glass and you kind of see him running through, it's not as good as the Quicksilver scene, the original Quicksilver scene, in terms of super speed scene, but it looks great, and I love the breaking glass thing. Like, I'm going to put that on the screen if I can find a clip of it.
Yeah, that looked pretty
swell. That is Zack Snyder's act. Like, that's where Zack Snyder shines, is in these short, kind of make these high stakes scenarios where they make you care about the central character. But I think he just missed the mark with that one.
Yeah.
The Cyborg stuff, on the other hand, He did not miss the mark.
Like there was.
But Ray Fisher might be the best actor in this movie. Hot take right there. He crushes it. The sequence where his dad dies and you see the one tear fall out of the human side of his face, fucking bravo.
Yeah.
That is incredible. I love everything with Cyborg in this.
Yeah. Well, he's got the most character development because you see.
Well, I think he's might be the only character development in this. Outside of Steppenwolf, like, what arc does Superman have? Dead to Alive? Like, Batman really doesn't get an arc in this movie either. Wonder Woman doesn't. Wonder Woman goes on a little bit.
Aquaman changes his mind about helping.
Aquaman does, but that's another thing I don't really like about this. We see Aquaman multiple times in here. Like, he has a scene with Mera, and he has a scene with Volko, and he has a scene with Bruce where he's like, I'm not helping. 3 times in the movie. You only need one.
Very good Jason Momoa impression.
You don't need the Volko scene, especially because the wig they put on Willem Dafoe is fucking terrible. Like,
I couldn't even tell it was a wig.
Oh, you're right. No, it was completely natural. Hair, you can cut that one out, and I do think maybe you need the Mera one too, because it is Mera in the Justice League movie, but again, for a normal audience, I wouldn't cut the Volko one out because you're throwing, because this came out before Aquaman, so you're throwing all of the Cyborg stuff, all of the Flash stuff, all of the Aquaman and several Aquaman side characters in to this movie, shoehorning it all in, and introducing all of the Fourth World stuff with Darkseid and Granny Goodness and Steppenwolf. There's a lot to consume for one movie, which I think is why Zack Snyder wanted to do it in 2 parts. Mm-hmm. This movie would not work as 2 separate movies. Because the first hour and a half, 2 hours is a wet dog.
Yeah.
Of this
movie.
The
first third of the movie is very slow paced and pretty boring, which is unfortunate because it's the length of a movie.
It is the length of a movie, which is why if Warner Brothers wanted to release this in 6 episodic episodes, it would have been a train wreck. Because the first 3, possibly 4 episodes, nothing happens. You see some Norwegian women singing to Aquaman. You do see that.
That is the most essential part of the entire film.
And one of them sniffs his sweater really sexually, and I don't like that at all.
I can't imagine why.
It is so weird. But, kind of getting back on topic, like, it's a little bit of a wet dog for the first act because the first act is almost 2 hours long, it feels like. And that's where you think, okay, you're setting up all these characters to develop, and this was supposed to introduce all of these characters, but none of that really happens in the first act.
Yeah, and then several of them have already been introduced.
And then they shoehorn in the Martian Manhunter right at the end of the first act, which DC fucking spoiled.
I was very shook about that. I was expecting Martian Manhunter at the end.
I was not shook because I had seen Zack Snyder's storyboards before I watched the movie.
I had not.
I had seen Zack's storyboards whenever he would do his live Vero chat things, or he would do a watch along and stuff. We'd seen the storyboards before they were out there. I didn't think DC would put a fucking comic book cover out before the movie with Martian Manhunter because normies aren't going to look at storyboards for a movie. I'm surprised I did.
Why did Martian Manhunter go have that heart-to-heart with Lois Lane?
I don't like that sequence at all.
Like, what was the purpose of that? What did he gain and what did she gain?
That is the only, emotional Lois Lane sequence that lasts more than 2 minutes.
And it's fake.
In here, and it's really bad. And Lois Lane, surprise, surprise, sucks in this movie. Which, I fucking love Lois Lane. Lois Lane's one of my favorite DC characters. Hot take right there. Lois Lane is, in my opinion, a top 10 DC character over some of the main DC heroes. Mm-hmm. Amy Adams' Lois Lane is not.
Yeah.
And she's been in 3 movies and has done nothing.
Yeah, it's not that Amy Adams is a bad actor.
She's not. She's actually quite good. She is not written coherently whatsoever.
Not written coherently at all.
She's given nothing to do. And every time one of these movies, like all of the Nightmare sequence stuff, all the setup, the one in BVS and in this movie, talk about how Lois is the key to this. And I just kind of raise my eyebrow at all those because what has she done? Like, what has Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio done to make me believe that Lois Lane should be the key to any of this?
Alrighty, I think that every single character in this entire goddamn movie would have benefited immensely from a color grading more similar to the theatrical release than to the one that the Snyder Cut has.
This movie is very ugly.
It's hideous. None of, like, these superheroes who have very iconic costumes with very iconic color schemes, you can't see the color.
And,
like,
and Superman just wears black.
If I ever rewatch it, it'll be the black and white version, just so that I...
What's the difference? Like,
yeah, like at least...
I can't tell you much difference because Wonder Woman doesn't look like she's wearing red.
Mm-hmm.
And the Flash is... I despise the Flash's metal suit in this. It's dumb, and the Nightmare sequence one is even worse.
Flash and Wonder Woman, their red looks like brown.
It does. And the only suit I genuinely like here, I don't like that Superman wears the black suit the entire time, but that suit, design-wise, is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the details on it, and I know it's just the BVS suit recolored, or at least that's what I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, though, and obviously, the Batfleck suit is A1.
I wish that if this movie was going to be 4 hours long, they would have perhaps, instead of having a 3-hour opening, got to the point a little quicker, got Superman back in action, had the black suit, had some badass scenes with that, but then have the normal suit.
Go to the classic red, yellow, and blue.
Because not only is that the first time that he's fighting with the Justice League, but this version of the DCEU is pretty much over. So
it's done. So
that's the only time we're seeing him fight with the Justice League. We're never going to see him.
We're getting a new Superman with J.J. Abrams coming soon.
Anyway,
the final fight in this, Superman does not speak to the Justice League. Who wrote... well, I know who wrote this, but who decided that was a good idea?
To be fair, he shows up halfway through, and shit's kind of going down.
Yes, but you would think, somehow... The only line he has is, not impressed. He talks to Steppenwolf more than he talks to Batman.
But... to be fair, at least the Justice League fight together and not take turns.
And they do have some really great combo moves. The first one with Cyborg and Aquaman stands out to me, and then the big three, Superman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman beating the dick off of.
Wait, did Cyborg not catch Aquaman in the theatrical cut?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
but that was also there.
Let's start talking about good things.
There's actually a lot of good things, I think, in this.
One of them is Steppenwolf. He's a lot better.
Steppenwolf, Flash, and Cyborg are the three most improved. And again, superhero Instagram and Twitter like to use the term amazing, fantastic, or best movie villain. No, not the best. Very much improved. I'm not super high on him. The design is better because, let's be face it, there's a super low bar to begin with.
Yeah.
I wish his little suit would sit fucking still a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That was moving, was kind of annoying, like throwing me off out of a couple scenes.
I think...
Huge props to the CG team, though. He does look good.
He would have benefited from being a little more humanoid than he was, just because it would have been easier for that actor to convey the emotion, because I find it a little bit difficult to relate to a hammerhead shark with hands.
That's true.
But other than that, like, he's got a lot more development. He's got 2 scenes that are pointless because they're just the same as his first scene. Those 2 could be cut out, as well as 20 minutes of the slow motion.
You can't cut out both of them. Because the one is after he's... because the first 2, you can cut out the middle one. But the third one is whenever he's already said, hey, I found the anti-life equation, and that's when Darkseid pops up on the screen the first time.
Okay, yeah, so you could cut out the middle one.
I like all of the Darkseid stuff, actually.
Yeah,
I'm a Darkseid fanboy, though, so...
Darkseid's not exactly my favorite ever, but I do appreciate Darkseid. I mean, he is pretty important.
Not only is he important to the DC Universe, I'm honestly just happy I got to see him. I wish I could have got to see him more, but the fact that I got to see him at all, I'm grateful for. And I think Darkseid is a perfect Zack Snyder villain.
Yeah, like, not only did we get to see Darkseid, but we got to see Darkseid do the Darkseid thing, the Omega Beams
on unfortunately just a rando in Atlantis in the dream.
Yeah, but
both those dream
sequences, fucking cool.
Those dream sequences, the one that Cyborg has when he's interfacing with the Kryptonian ship, is fucking awesome. I love that one, and then the one after they lose in the end is also sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just cool to see Darkseid. One thing. I wish, since obviously we're never getting a sequel. They're not going to restore the Snyderverse. It's not going to happen. I don't think it should happen either, because I think people are getting lost in the moment. Like, we just got a great Justice League. Well, not a great, but a very good...
We just got a very acceptable
A very good Justice League movie. But that is coming after getting a terrible Superman movie and one of the worst superhero movies I've ever watched in BVS.
Yeah, I regretted that. But,
again, we're not on those topics at the moment. So I think people get a little caught up in the moment. It's not going to happen. So I really wish that Darkseid would have hopped his big ass through that boom tube.
They might as well have done it.
Just to show the Justice League that shit ain't sweet for a good dope fight scene. And I think...
Because then you still could have...
live action Superman versus Darkseid. Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
And you still could have fixed it the same way that they fixed the whole thing.
That's true.
Like, Flash could have still just gone back in time.
Like scene, but we could have actually seen Darkseid.
Yeah, Darkseid could have just come over.
Or have Darkseid and Granny Goodness come over, because Granny Goodness is gonna fuck some shit up too. Yeah. But I just want to see the big man pop through that boom tube and just fucking wreck shit. Because if he walked through that boom tube, the internet debate of Thanos versus Darkseid, it's over. Like, obviously, if you've read comic books, you know Darkseid is fucking Thanos up. I wish he would have walked through that boom tube.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. Darkseid is more powerful than Thanos, but I think that Thanos in Infinity War was better written than Darkseid.
Obviously, he's a deeper character. I shouldn't have brought that up, because again, off topic, this is going to be a super, super long video, but what do you expect? It's a 4-hour movie. There's so much to talk about in this movie.
Are we going to re-release this video in black and white?
We can release this. Oh, dude, we can do Street Level Weekly is gray. And we can make another exactly the same thing, and I'll just recolor scale it.
There we go.
Because I'll do color grade. You know what? The color grading in this, which is going to be literally 0, is already better than what was in Snyder Cut.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm sure you can see that that's blue. I don't know if you can tell that this is dark blue, but
I bet you have a better shot looking
you
at
can see the red on Superman and Flash.
That's true, and Diana as well. One thing, since we're getting close to the end of this, I feel, because we've already talked about the main fight scene, I want to talk about the wrap-up sequences, and then one more negative at the end of this, which is really just a disappointment for me. The wrap-up sequences in this, where they introduce the Hall of Justice, is really good. The Cyborg listening to Silas and then, accepting his place in society is really good. The sequence with the Flash running down the street smiling, which I'm assuming is Central City, is beautiful. I like that a lot too. What I don't like is that they kept the I bought the bank bullshit. I don't like that. Just have Bruce buy the house. Like, I don't need him. I know it's some Batman shit to be like, I bought the bank, but I don't know. It just seems kind of shoehorned.
Well, and why the hell? Like, what else is Bruce gonna do with this bank in the middle of Kansas?
Exactly. It doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't he just buy the property? Because if he bought the bank, Martha still has to pay him.
Yeah.
So she's not getting anywhere on this little business transaction. So I get that it's a cool Batman line, but just have him buy the house instead. Another one of the wrap-ups that I don't like is they show Henry Cavill as Clark Kent walking down the street in Metropolis, and then he turns down an alley, and he does the classic rip the shirt open thing, which, good, you should do that, but it's still a black suit. There's no reason that should still be the black suit. If you were going to have, even if you want to keep the black suit throughout the whole final fight, I'm cool with that. Like, I would prefer it to be the blue, but it's your movie. But why would he still be wearing the black suit then? Like, that shot in the first Justice League movie, especially since it's right before the Deathstroke stuff, should be the classic color.
Which was also improved.
Yeah, because, it wasn't just one baseball movie reference. It was actually cool. And how the fuck does Lex Luthor know Batman is Bruce Wayne? When did that start? Was that in BVS? I don't remember.
How does he know?
I don't know. I don't think that... I mean, obviously that doesn't get explained, and we're never going to know. Thank God, because I can't stomach any more of Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg was probably my favorite Joker in the DCEU.
Well, I was going to say he's my favorite Riddler in the DCEU.
Yeah.
Because he's either one of those characters before he's Lex Luthor. The only Lex Luthor thing he does is that he has kryptonite. That's it. That's about it.
And Batman has that as well.
And so does Batman, so that's not really a thing.
Bruce Wayne is a better Lex Luthor in this cinematic universe.
Oh my
than
god, I
Lex Luthor
hate the fact
is.
that that's true. God damn it. Okay, I don't want to end on a bad wrap-up. What about the Henry and Barry in prison sequence?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was
Whoever
pretty
cut
good.
that for the theatrical release, I hate you. Just know that. Unless it's you, Jeff Johns, I love you. But that scene's fantastic. I love that scene. And unfortunately, Billy Crudup's not coming back as Henry Allen. But, I almost said Henry Cavill. but he's not coming back. I don't remember who they replaced him with. I'm sure I can pop it up on the screen.
Oh, they replaced him?
Yeah, for the Flashpoint. He didn't sign on for the movie, so. He signed on to do 2 movies. Justice League and then the Snyder Cut. So, like... More of Warner Brothers just somehow being inept.
How did that count?
I don't think it should.
Are they not legally the same movie?
I mean,
it's like
they're the same in
did
title.
He film a different?
Basic plot.
Did he film a different?
Well,
take?
they did actually film extra stuff for this. The nightmare sequence. Oh, we almost didn't talk about the nightmare sequence.
But did he film extra stuff?
I
for
do
this?
not know. I would very much bet that he did not. Before we get to the nightmare sequence. I just want to talk about one thing that I was personally disappointed by, and it is not Zack Snyder's fault, because Zack did try, and he did have the sequence originally. Warner Brothers just told him no. There are no actual lanterns on this Justice League. We see 2. We do see Alan Gurr in a pretty close-up shot where we see the actual Green Lantern powers, and I think those effects look really good. I do like those. And we do see Kilowog's dead-ass body in the first of the dream sequences. But that's the only lanterns we get. And I think, if you're going to do the Justice League, you need a lantern.
Yeah.
And I think you need Jon Stewart.
Yeah, the 4 seconds of a lantern that we got in the 2017 Justice League was my favorite part of that movie. And the Alan Gurr was one of my favorite parts of the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, Alan Gurr showing up was pretty cool. And they did give him a couple nice little sweet moves.
Thoroughly wish we'd have gotten...
The ending sequence with Martian Manhunter was originally going to be Hal Jordan and Kilowog showing up to talk to Bruce, which, would have been cool. And I do
still would have
understand.
felt weird.
It definitely would have been weird. And it would have been shoehorned, like, you guys, Darkseid was here. You're lanterns. You know who Darkseid is. And so does Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, like, it's your whole goddamn job.
You know who these guys... Where the fuck were you at? Like... Anyways, it would have been weird. I just want to see some live-action Green Lanterns. And I know I'm getting to, with HBO Max giving me Alan Scott and Jessica Cruz and Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner and Simon Baz. And we did get the really shitty Green Lantern movie. We got to do that one, too.
I've never seen it.
Really? I've watched it many, many times. I'm a Green Lantern fanboy, though, so yeah, I'm just a little sad that I didn't get to see what I perceive as one of DC's most unique and original creations ever in the Justice League. And it's a key component of the team as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I like Green
He's
Lantern.
definitely the number 2 or 3 most powerful Justice Leaguer. Because, Superman, obviously, top, and then it's either Wonder Woman or Green Lantern, however you perceive them.
I'd say Green Lantern's more powerful than Wonder Woman.
I would too, but in certain stories it does not come across that way.
Yeah.
But, just in general, I think for a live-action Justice League movie, like, if they do end up making Justice League Rebirth, which is the rumor at the moment, Green Lantern should be there.
Yeah.
And since they're doing, HBO Max has their Green Lantern series, and since they finally let the CW have a Green Lantern now, maybe we'll get one, but, we just got some teases. Like, we saw Hal Jordan's name in a bar in Arrow once, and then they'd say Coast City every now and then. But
not gonna lie, I personally am not super into the CW
I don't
shows.
Listen, I am not a huge fan of the CW shows. Superman and Lois so far is pitch perfect.
I haven't seen it. I'll have to check it out. The Superman and Lois pilot, I know this is completely off topic and a very hot take. The Superman and Lois pilot is the best live-action Superman we've had since Chris Reeve. That is quite
That
a
is
hot
a
take.
scalding hot take, but that is a Superman that I did not enjoy whatsoever.
Do you mean...
But the Superman for All Seasons reference and the introduction to that is my favorite Superman sequence in live action.
Best live action Superman since Chris Reeves in Superman 2 or Superman 4?
In Superman, the movie.
Okay.
That includes the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2. Because the... Anyways, I love the pilot. We keep getting off topic because we're idiots and we did not prepare.
We should have called it fucking Off Topics Weekly.
We might call it Off Topics Weekly because that's what we keep doing. Anyways.
The nightmare sequence.
What do you think about it?
I did not love it.
I didn't like it at all. I do like... Joe Manganiello does look dope as Deathstroke, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
It's cool look as Deathstroke.
He's pretty great.
But, you know...
The Flash wasn't...
Flash Thompson as Deathstroke is definitely not what I thought I was going to see in my lifetime. But... Or Brad from How I Met Your Mother as Deathstroke is not what I thought I was going to see in my lifetime. But I love it.
I didn't realize that that's who that was.
I can tell. But I love it. I love it. It's cool. He doesn't get to do much, but I really wish we could see that. Because I think it would be cool if we get a fight scene with him and Ben Affleck's Batman. Even though we're never going to see that, but I wish I did.
That was my favorite moment of Jared Leto's Joker and one of my least favorite moments of Ben Affleck's Batman.
You know, I've seen edgier, I've read edgier dialogue for Batman. I mean, the Joker does talk about beating Batman off, like, but what made me hate it, and I know the internet already said this, somebody I guarantee has, whenever Batman says, I will fucking kill you, I'm out. Batman does not kill whatsoever. I'm not going to get into that because High Top Films made the perfect Batman does not kill video. Mm-hmm. If you haven't, you've seen it. Everybody in the world has seen it.
I agree. I think that I'd have been more okay with that line if Batman had not spent the last two movies just killing a bunch of people, because then it would have at least been like, oh shit, Batman is real upset.
Lost it. Like, he's lost his fucking shit.
But he's just been doing that.
We just assume Batman's gonna kill. Like,
yeah, like, no shit.
He shot a parademon in the fucking head in this movie. And while I'm not too mad about him shooting parademons in the head, I am real mad about him gunning down somebody in the fucking Batmobile in BVS. That's not Batman, so whenever you have Ben Affleck staring
in the Batmobile, what about when he broke into that building and just started shooting him point blank?
Or the other nightmare sequence in BVS when he just comes out the truck with the damn automatic weapon and just guns down Superman people, like... It's dumb. It's not Batman at all. It's really stupid, and I despise it. And I think if that... Maybe if he didn't say that, I might like the scene a little bit better. Because the fact that the Joker is sitting there referencing killing, I guess referencing and killing Dick Grayson in this universe because Zack Snyder's a dumbass. And you rob yourself of Nightwing, Jason Todd, and Red Hood. Well, Nightwing and Red Hood. By just having him kill the wrong Robin. Like,
I mean, I guess you could technically just do Red Hood but wrong, but...
Yeah, but...
Well, it doesn't matter because they're not going to do it.
But it's such a simple thing to get right. Like, Joker kills Jason Todd, so that way you can still have Nightwing, one of the most popular DC characters, to pop up in a movie, and you can still have the Red Hood, and it still makes sense.
True, but...
It's so simple.
On the one hand, if they had gone that route, why the fuck would Batman not have just been like, yo, Dick, you're coming with us, when they went to go fight Steppenwolf?
Yeah, that makes sense too, but then again, Martian Manhunter's on the planet, and why did he not show up? Because he's overpowered as fuck too. And he clearly knew what was going on.
Presumably there are some lanterns at least nearby.
Like, well, yeah, there's one lantern for every space sector, at least.
Yeah.
Now there's like 6 human lanterns.
Surely they noticed shit
and the Guardians
hitting the fan.
Watch everything, especially Darkseid. So whenever they go, oh shit, Darkseid's found the anti-life equation, we might want to send somebody. But you know, I don't know. I didn't write the movie. Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder did. Overall, so let's wrap it up here. Let's give it a score out of 10. What's your score out of 10? Well, actually, before we do this, What's your score for the theatrical cut out of 10?
3.
3? Mine's a 2 out of 10. I don't like the theatrical cut. But this one...
I mean, I still gave it a failing score.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I know, but that's not what I'm saying. But this one, while it's not perfect, we spent about an hour talking about how it's not perfect.
I'd say it's a solid 7.
I was going to say it's about a 7, 7.5.
Yeah,
Because
I'd give
while
that
I
a
do
C.
think if you chopped it down to 3 hours, cut out some of the stuff, gave Lois Lane something to do, it'd be vastly improved.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we got. And maybe some Reddit warrior can cut it down for us, and I'm sure somebody probably already has, and I just haven't seen it.
I mean, eventually somebody will, because they did that with The Hobbit, and it's still trash because it's just trash and inherently.
Fair enough.
Tragic. Why would New Line Cinema do this to my precious fucking
Hobbit, but
Hobbit? Anyways, that's besides the point.
it is.
That's a decade ago.
Holy shit.
Someone will cut Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Somebody probably has, and you know, maybe if I get super bored one time, which I don't think I'm ever gonna have enough time to do that, maybe I would do it too, so I could have it to be my perfect one. But then, why would we not do that for every movie to make it our perfect movie? Because we don't have 4 fucking hours of footage to do it for every movie.
That's true.
So, yeah, we sit at a solid 7 out of 10 for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I know a lot of people, like IMDb, have it as one of the... I think it's the second highest comic book movie in IMDb
I don't know
ever.
about that one.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that's what IMDb
Well,
has
no,
it.
I'm sure they have it that.
I
don't know if I
has
would rate
just
it that.
under The Dark Knight. Like, it's Dark Knight's 9 and Zack Snyder's Justice League's 8.5 on IMDb. I don't think it's that good. It's not that good, because The Dark Knight's almost perfect.
I mean, most Marvel movies are better than Justice League.
Most? I don't know about most.
I don't know if I'd call Thor: The Dark World better than the Snyder Cut.
I don't think either of the Ant-Man movies are. I don't think Doctor Strange is. Captain Marvel's not.
Yeah, I agree with all of this.
None of the Thor movies are. Hulk isn't. 2 of the Iron Man movies aren't. Maybe all 3 Captain Americas. Winter Soldier definitely is.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if I'd say most. If I was to throw this in with the MCU rankings, it'd be top 10 for me.
Really? Well, I guess there's not a whole bunch of them. Like, there's a bunch of MCU movies.
There's a lot of MCU movies, but I think there's only, like, a handful of, like, great, like, perfect MCU movies.
Oh, I'm not saying that there's a bunch of perfect MCU movies. I'm just saying
a lot of superior Marvel
there's a lot of
movies.
Marvel movies that are better than Justice League.
There are some.
Like, Justice League would not appear on my top 5.
Well, not the theatrical one.
I don't think either of them would.
My top 5. No, not top 5. Because there's some of the MCU stuff is fucking great.
I was going to say, The Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America.
Winter Soldier, Infinity War, and Endgame. Were probably
Civil
ranked
War
higher
was
than
pretty
that.
decent.
Civil War's up there.
Far From Home was pretty...
I like Snyder Cut more than Far From Home, I think. I haven't watched Far From Home in like 2 years though, so I could be wrong. But I think they're pretty comparable.
Yeah, I guess they're pretty much on the same level.
There's only, I think, like 4 or 5 movies that I would rank in the MCU higher than the Snyder Cut.
I liked Black Panther better.
Oh, yes, Black Panther is better. But we're not ranking the MCU here. One time, maybe we will rank the MCU. Maybe we shoot that next right now. Who knows? But
we're not shooting that next right now.
No shit, that's a joke. Like,
I've been up for way too long.
Same, I'm tired. But I also pounded 2 monsters, so I know I'm not going to bed anymore.
I drank caffeine for the first time in 2 weeks, and I am still going to fall asleep.
Alright, so we've been rambling on about this for a little bit. We're probably going to cut most of this out anyway.
Yeah.
But, if you somehow are a psychopath and stuck along to these 2 random idiots that you've never seen together on the internet talking about this movie, I love you.
Also...
You're awesome. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I appreciate you.
Also, if you enjoyed this review, goddamn demand the Snyder Cut of this review. Whole thing, uncut, no takeouts.
No takes. All
Black
of the,
and white.
all of the dumb things that we said that you did not hear, if you want to hear them.
And I said quite a few of them.
There's a lot of things that
There's
do not
one about
belong on
Lois
the internet.
Lane's
Do
secret
not even say
superpower.
it on here. Anyways, we're going to get out of here. We will see you next week with episode 2 of this, which we should probably know what we're going to do on that. It's going to be another comic book movie. We know that much so far.
Mm-hmm.
Might be DC, might be Marvel. It might be an Image Comics movie, because there's only one of those, and it sucks. But we'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you stuck around for most of this, and I hope you liked the Snyder Cut. I'll see you next time. You have a great day. Goodbye. I want to shoot him in the head right now.